guys, Dr. Justin here, Strive to Move. Today we want to talk about hip mobility. This is a classic 90-90 position that I learned again from my mentor, Dr. Andrea Spina. This is a great stretch, great mobility drill and assessment for anybody, any athlete, or anybody really. Hips I find to be one of the most limited things in people with lower back, hip, knee, ankle pain. A lot of it comes from the hips. As you can see, we call it a 90-90 position because I'm creating 90-degree angles from my hip to my knee to my ankle, okay? Now, one of the common flaws that you see, and this is, some people use this as a hurdle stretch, as they lean over the front side. Okay, one of the biggest flaws that you see is as people lean over their front side, and you should feel a stretch in your glute, is they start to round at their lower back and end up stretching their lower back as opposed to their hip. So what I always tell people is if you had a bungee cord in front of you, you want to act like the bungee cord is pulling you forward to the point where you feel that big stretch. You do it correctly, you will feel a stretch in the posterior of the hip, but you want to keep your back flat. So that would be the big technique flaw that I often see in this hurdle stretch. Now, the one area that most people don't address when they do this is to stretch the other hip. This hip is what we call internal rotation. Now, when people have impingement or have degeneration in the hip, what they usually lose is hip internal rotation. So if I was on my back, hip internal rotation would look like this. We want to make sure that we mobilize in this position. So we have this 90-90, we went over the front side, we always forget to go over to the back side to feel that 90-90 stretch. So we have an external rotation on the right hip, we have an internal rotation on the left hip. Now, the other thing to check is how does the other side feel? So we assess and we feel how we feel here. Then when we switch sides, it should feel exactly the same. Now, I feel a little bit tighter going this way than I did on the other side, so I got some work to do. But it's a great assessment, it's a great mobility drill, something to definitely try. Dr. Justin, Strive to Move. We will talk to you soon.